Welcome to the program.
Hi, Dr. Cloud. Thank you for taking my call. I really appreciate your show, and
Thank
I've been
you.
learning a lot. And one of my issues, it's very, very grievous, is my question is, how do I restore and heal a broken relationship with my 27-year-old adult daughter who has canceled me out of her life? She did this over a year ago, and she wrote me a text. She wants nothing to do with me. She blames me for not showing solidarity with her after her stepdad assaulted her 3 years ago. I'm still married to her stepdad. I was witness to the incident. It was ugly. And my first marriage was 7 years long. I had 3 children with him, and he was very abusive physically and emotionally. My current
Wow.
husband, who assaulted her, is emotionally has not been physically abusive towards me, but he definitely was towards my daughter, and
He was,
she's
wait
got
a
a lot of
minute,
hurt.
he was physically abusive towards your daughter?
Yes, he assaulted her, and after an angry confrontation over an issue that really was not his to get involved with, he shoved her down after she picked up a glass canister, and the glass broke, and he was angry over that, and she wasn't intending to break it. It was just to change the tone in the room because they were both very escalated with their points of view regarding a matter that really wasn't his business, but he felt it was. And so he hard charged her and shoved her down to the ground, and she comes up
Oh,
with her
wow.
fists flying. He grabs her and holds her tight, and she can't breathe, and and he won't let her go. And I'm like a deer in a headlight, having
Wow.
gone through some of the thing in my first marriage. And so he finally lets her go after she digs through her nails in the upper part of his hand. And then she's distraught, calls her sister, and who lives out of state and married, and she says, just call the police. The police came out, and she didn't press charges, and I guess according to the police, because she broke something, he had charges on her, so they both kind of went to truce. But he's written 3 apology letters, but they feel more neck up than heart rendered, and she's very sensitive, and I forgive him, but I'm struggling in the relationship with him, trusting and liking him. It's cost me my relationship with my daughter, and I'm needing some real wisdom.
Oh, gosh. What a horrible, horrible context you find yourself in between like that. Let's talk for a second just about your daughter. What does she want from you? Is there something that she says that, Mom, this would restore
Well,
our relationship?
no, she won't even give that. I've humbled myself. I've taken ownership for the things that I didn't get right in raising her as a single mom. From the time they were 1, 3, and 6, I had 3 kids. Dad, was taken to jail for his assault, and so I held, jobs and did everything I could to raise them.
Wow.
They're good kids. All are good kids. Um,
Well,
but
and
she,
also hats off to you for that. Must have been really, really hard. I always think, up there at the top of the list, the hardest jobs in the world is single parenting.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was
So
definitely
she's not,
not easy.
so at this point, there's nothing she's asking for. She's just canceled you out.
Exactly.
Okay.
And
So
her
if there's
birthday's
nothing,
coming up this
I
month.
mean, now, basically all you can do is invite her, continue to invite her. Um, you know, but so
hmm
what is your question then? Tell me specifically what I
My
can help you.
question is, how do I navigate my relationship with my current husband, her stepdad? He's given his apologies, and I don't feel he's done what he can to restore the relationship with
What
her.
would you
My
like?
oldest,
Can you express to him what you would like to see him do that would be further steps?
yes, yes, we did that with a marriage counselor recently, and he said he won't grovel, He's done his part, and that's the end of it. He's written 3 very eloquent apologies, but I don't feel
Well,
they're really heartwarming.
what are you asking him to do specifically?
Um, just to take the position of what my counselor had said to him, which is, I will, I am to identify with my loss of my daughter and not make her like she has to come back, that he can do something to really show that he really screwed up. Like, I can so understand why you wouldn't want to be in relationship to me, because what I did was very, very hard on you. It was
Yeah.
traumatizing to you.
But so
I
he
would
had,
like,
I'm sorry, well, here's what I'm confused about. You said he wrote 3 really eloquent apologies. What you're describing now sounds like an eloquent apology. So did he
yeah,
not do that in the 3?
no, he did do that, but she rejected each because she
Right.
felt that
So
they
you're
were
you're
not
not wanting
genuine.
him to do anything different. You're wanting him to continue to try. Is that right?
Exactly, that's it. I want him to call. She wants nothing to do with him, but the oldest daughter says I live in a dual reality. It's like, I'm one way with him, and then when I'm back visiting her, I'm a certain way, and I feel like, okay, what can I do? Get marriage counseling. Well, our marriage counselor basically said, after he blew up and said that he won't grovel and humble himself, that it's up to her to, reinstate the relationship because he's done everything he can do. And the counselor says, well, I'm not interested in counseling you guys anymore because, you know, he even said, well, you're dealing with someone who's a narcissist, who's emotionally and psychologically abusive to you. You're a rock in a hard place. Well, I don't want to think that way about my current husband. He has some good qualities that I
Yeah.
respect and I admire. It's just I don't admire and respect how he's handled the relationship with my daughter after he, assaulted her. I don't admire that about him at all. I don't feel like he's really taken to heart how I feel about what happened and how it's changed the whole,
Yeah.
landscape of my relationship with all my kids.
Okay. So
There's
where
no
is he
family gap.
now? Where is he now in talking to you about this? Is it like, I don't want to talk about it
Oh, he
anymore?
won't.
What's that?
He won't really enter into the discussion. He says he'll go to marriage counseling with me again, but we can't bring up the subject. Well, hello, that's the elephant in the room.
Right. Right. It's sad because it seems like the kernel of this is is what you're not feeling from him is a sense of getting out of his experience of it and getting into your experience of it, and
Exactly. That's
and maybe your
exactly
daughter's, right?
exactly. That's exactly
Okay.
it. And that's what grieves
So
my heart. If he had just
right,
said a simple, I'm so sorry, I so screwed up. I don't
right.
need you to wax eloquent.
Okay, but let me interrupt because this is where I get confused. It's kind of why I'm struggling here. Uh, 3 eloquent apologies that don't include a "I'm sorry I screwed up." What was eloquent about them? I don't know how those 2 things go together.
Well, he just went into an analysis of their relationship. He's very cerebral. He's very like,
But
you know,
did he not say, "I'm sorry I screwed up" in those?
um, in no simple, straightforward way. No, he was very circuitous and talked
Okay.
about how they're, just very abstract about it. And yeah, I mean, on one level, you could say, okay, yeah, this guy said it, but he felt detached from the words. I picked up a detachment from the words.
Okay.
The words were on the page,
And
but the
you
heart was not rendered.
okay, so it's not about what he's saying or not saying, you're just saying it's more his emotional stance.
Yeah, his posture, his tone.
Okay. Well, I think that in your talking to him, um, here's what you might try because he has agreed to go back to counseling. Maybe you find a different counselor. But what you can say is, I do want to go back to counseling because I love you. I want to be close to you. I need some help in getting back there. And
Mhm. Yeah.
we're at a roadblock here, and I would communicate that what you want, I want us to be close. I want us to have a good relationship. I I'm struggling with how. I need help on how to get close when there's a part of you that is far away from what we have a conflict about, and a part of me that is far away from you and what we have a conflict about. And I need for us to get some help to find out how we can get close. And I wouldn't solve it. I wouldn't say it in a particular answer or demand or this, that, and the other. I would say it in a quandary of, I want to be close to you. I need help to do that because
Okay, that feels.
because because right now I don't know how to bridge that, and I need help.
Mhm. Yeah.
I would try it
Right.
that way. I would try it that way. And if you
Mhm.
sometimes it helps if you and ask him, what would you like our relationship to look like? What do you want from me? What do you want from us? And let's start with the vision of what we want. And then I'll give you one more thing. And I've got, unfortunately, I got to go to some other calls. I mean, not unfortunate. I do want to talk to you guys too, but I want to talk to her. It's always like, but if you start with the vision of what you want,
Mhm.
then we each ask the question, am I acting in a way that would get me what I want? Am I acting in a way that would make the other person think that I want what I said I wanted? And sometimes,
Mhm.
if you put it that way, then he can look at, well, I said I want to be close, but I'm also saying I don't care about how she feels about something. Well, those don't really go together, do they? So
That's right. That's right.
I'd start with the let's get on the same page about what we want, and then see
Mhm.
what we need to do for and with each other to land there. And I think you need a
Mhm.
third party to do that. So that's kind of the question that I would take into marriage counseling.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. I think that really frames it. Thank you very much, Dr. Todd.
Try that, and I hope that I hope you and your daughter can get reconciled. A single mom that raised her all those years, understand her to understand why she's hurt. I just hope that something can bring you guys back together on this um, hard situation. You know, all the rest of us, let's um, let's listen to the salient point, kind of the you know the learning moment in what we just heard. The learning moment in what we just heard is sometimes the very next, like ticket, the ticket that swings the door wide open in a conflict where there's a gate, where there's like like a jail cell that we're stuck in. The ticket that swings that open is getting out of our own perspective and showing interest in the other person. And so tell me how this feels to you. What's it like for you? Because I don't really know sometimes. We were having a conversation for the program about, all of the just the turmoil and the division, it's going on so many fronts, all around us. But specifically, about racism, there are a lot of people that I don't think have ever the taken the time. I'm not saying necessarily for good or bad reasons, but they've just been living their lives, right? And they've never taken the time to sit down with somebody from a different group than their own and just wonder to get out of their own experience and into the experience of what it feels like to be a different race or different ethnicity or a different socioeconomic situation or a different faith in the context of it. We're not getting out of ourselves enough and into the experience of the other person and trying to make that bridge of just understanding. understanding. Boy, does that open a lot of doors and make a lot of conflicts begin to go away. Sort of like what we started out with self-esteem, right? If all the focus is on me and how I'm seen and how I feel and I'm good and all this, we're not getting out of ourselves and getting into somebody else's pain or their experience. And that's what really drives generally the next step of forgiveness, reconciliation, healing, all those kinds of things.